Oh, I didn't see you coming. Why do you always do that to me? But now that you're here, you might as well stick around for another collection update here on the Nital channel. Cheers everyone, how you doing? I am here in my honeymoon, kind of winding down the last days, but had a little free time since my wife has been busy with her college work here and there, and as it turned out, I brought some of the promo CDs with me to review, so we're going to do that right now. Well then, up first is a new project, well at least new to me, that comes from Seattle. The name of that project is Nital Etch. It's coming to you from the No Part of It record label, which if you've paid attention to this channel and this vlog, you kind of know that in the past they've sent me a lot of their other, well not a lot, a couple of their other CDs, and most of the other stuff was all very highly experimental and, you know, harsh noise and experimental ambient noise, stuff like that. And when Arvo Zylo from No Part of the Records kind of started telling me about this record, I didn't really know what to expect based on kind of, you know, the past experiences with the label. But I ended up absolutely loving this album, and it is, to me now, I've played quite a bit since he sent it to me. And much like some of the other albums he sent me, I had no idea it was actually coming in the mail. It just sort of showed up one day in sort of an anonymous envelope, and I was like, oh, okay, what's this? And I open up, I'm like, oh, it's another Arvo Zylo package. But this is, I believe to my knowledge, this is the first Nital Etch album properly released in a physical format, whereas everything else, and he's had albums dating all the way back to about 2015. Now, Nital Etch, in case you're wondering, and I have to say, I thought this was like a made-up word at first, but I looked it up, and what I find out is Nital, or is it Nital? I don't know. Nital is a solution of nitric acid and alcohol, commonly used for etching of metals. It is especially suitable for revealing the microstructure of carbon steels. Alcohol could be methanol, ethanol, or methylated spirits, something like that. I don't know, I can't pronounce that word. But all things considered, since this is sort of an experimental project, this is probably a good name, and to my knowledge I've never heard of any other band using this name, so definitely original on the artist's part there. On the back of the CD, the label provides a small little bio to kind of give a little background. Nital Etch is a project out of an area in Washington State that is considered by many to be a truly dreadful place. Aberdeen? It is a morally, spiritually, and economically desolate landscape. The sound of Nital Etch seems to confirm that the one man with strings and some pedals created a soundtrack to a non-existent film, probably envisioning the unidentified rotting corpse lying dead in a ditch, only to be discovered months later because no one missed them. Hyperbole aside, hyperbole? I don't know what that word is. Hyperbole aside, I honestly think that this project would be doing movie sounds if it weren't for all the schmooze involved. Incisions or obsolescence are pieces that could have been used for the score to The Joker. The avenues of dark ambient, classical, and experimental electronics explored here can carry the rawness for a noise show, or the aptitude to present as an opener for Pamela Kirsten. Simulacrum is a collection of highlights from previous recordings to date, all of which have yet to be released into the physical realm. Oh, there's my answer. So this is, I guess you could consider Simulacrum basically like a best of Nital Etch's work so far to date, and it's quite a interesting collection. Basically, throughout this album, the listener is treated to sounds of harsh noise, dark ambient, classical, neoclassical, and just a lot of experimental and drone characteristics. So it's a very diverse album, and one of the things I liked about this album right from the get-go is that the noisier pieces had a lot of substance. There was a rhythmic quality to them. There was also samples overlaid, and when it comes to noise music, I always kind of feel like it has to have those kind of things, because if it doesn't, it's just noise. It's just repetitive white noise, and to me that doesn't really serve a great purpose. But to hear there's rhythmic elements, and there is also samples. Just to me that makes it just CD more engaging. So you really kind of add substance into the whole thing, makes it more interesting. As for like the dark ambient pieces, those are really cool too. I mean, it's not like dark ambient necessarily like a more traditional style like Kammerheit or Svartsen or Lustmord. It's there's somewhat more character. It does kind of has that dreary sort of like movie soundtrack vibe as the Bile kind of suggested, but really cool stuff. Then there's like some neoclassical elements too, which appear to be created by a violin and used through like pedals and stuff like that, and it just creates a really cool atmosphere. Not one that you really commonly hear in dark ambient experimental music. And then like the last couple roses, the last two roses is basically the last four songs are just excerpts from much longer pieces. I think when I looked at the Bandcamp site, each of these songs were like in the 25 to 35 minute range. And here there's just a small little smidgen of each one, like anywhere from like 2 to 10 minutes of each one of these. So you don't get much of these, but it's just interesting kind of hearing, like, I guess these are maybe like the highlights or something like that from those songs. Those are really cool too, and it's definitely after I got done listening to this, I wanted to explore more of the music of Nital Etch. I forgot to mention, Nital Etch is the solo work of a man named Kevin Lewis, and this is definitely a project I want to search out more because he's got a good fusion of that like ambient noise, experimental, classical, and dark ambient vibes, and I feel like he really nailed it. And going into the CD, I didn't expect shit. I just thought, I hate to be mean about this, but I just thought it'd be another No Part of It Records album that I'd throw on and be like, alright, this is my thing, and then I was going to just put it in the CD shelf and maybe come back to it months later or something, maybe not, But I really liked it. I've listened to it several times since Arvo sent it to me. It's a really fantastic album, and it's fantastic because it's a little bit different from the typical like dark ambient and experimental soundscape kind of album. You get a lot into this one. Well then, let's take a look at the artwork, shall we? Here is the front cover, which is once again created by Bradley Koke, who has created the artwork for several other No Part of It Records releases, and I feel like this is probably one of the coolest ones he's done so far. I really like this. It's sort of I see skeletons, I see fire, I see, I don't know, maybe someone's innards or something like that. Smoke, death, ribs, bones. Oh my god, it's just it's total chaos, and it's just, wow, it's a really cool cover. And then on the back cover, I believe that appears to be a close-up of the artwork from the front cover. So very cool stuff, and definitely more really cool artwork and collages from Bradley Koke. And then the CD. Once again, this is a CDR, like most No Part of It Records releases. And then on the back cover, we have another cool looking collage, plus the track listing and the liner notes that I read off earlier. So once again, if you're looking for something kind of different within the dark ambient and experimental scene, this is definitely a record worth looking up, as you get a nice mixture of like somewhat typical dark ambient soundtrack stuff, more I guess typical ambient structures. There's drone stuff. There's real soundscapey kind of stuff. There's minimal noise with samples and rhythmic elements, and then there's the classical elements, which is a really cool addition too. And I think all this stuff just really elevates it to a really special place. And even though it's a compilation, I found that it was very cohesive and all just went really well together. So definitely worth checking out. That is Nital Etch.